Hi guys, welcome back into the live. Really sorry for all what's been happening. Yeah, had a lot of technical problem these days with that because I'm trying to add some sound effect to the live. So I wanted to add some sound effect, and StreamYard is very limited for that. So I had to. I kind of use a mixer for that, so it's quite difficult. Sorry for missing this. Yeah, I've been missing for a long time. I was ready to cancel it, and I said, "Yeah, no, I'm gonna be with you for a while." Um, so yeah, thank you for being in here. Thank you for being in the live. If you're watching the replay, thanks a lot. Obviously, we are only on YouTube. Facebook, we would have to wait for longer time to watch on Facebook. So thanks for being in the live. Of course, it's still a Q&A, and you guys can just ask the question you ask, and that will be cool. I guess I was asking pretty much everybody in the chat is like people. Yeah, all right. I guess you guys can. Yeah, sorry. I feel very sorry. It's not always easy to get some technical problems, but whatever. Thanks. Things happen, This is real life, and this is real live. I'm not a TV station, but yeah. So thanks for all of you for being in a chat. And yeah, so it's a Q&A. If you got any questions, feel free to lead into the chat, and I will try to answer you as much as possible. Of course, if you are new in here, you got to know that Mikeshomeesl is an ESL teaching tips channel. So you are welcome to leave your comment into the comment section, and that will be awesome. Thanks for being in the live. Good evening. Yeah, brother, always number one on the chat. Always here to say a little hello. I guess now you can hear me. Good evening, brother Mike. Good evening, Jair. Welcome. Hope you're doing good. Get any questions, feel free to ask me, guys. If you are, yeah, I was checking my WeChat earlier because you know that if you are in China, you can add me on WeChat. And if you add me on WeChat, I will add you to my ESL group where you can share resources and all stuff. So yeah, very welcome on that group. Okay, what is going on again? Yeah, really big problem. Oh no, okay, it's all good. It's all good. Yeah, no, I was just checking. Sometimes, yeah. Oh, that was a private chat. Okay. Yeah, so yeah, my WeChat is right here. It's gonna scroll down on the screen, so you can add me on WeChat if you want to get more resources. You get awesome members on Mikeshomeesl WeChat group. So yeah, just feel free to join. That's a PT. We were 16 in the live, like that was almost 20 minutes ago, and I had that issue with my micro. So sorry for that, guys. Very sorry. So thanks for being in the chat. Whatever, we're gonna forget that as the past. Morning. Now I can hear you. Greetings from Mexico. Thank you so much. My question is, what's the key to keep your class dynamic? If you want to, that's a good question. If you want to keep your class dynamic, you gotta be dynamic as well. You got to be very active, very, very smiley. You got to use body language. You got to prepare, and you know, in a classroom, you will always have a time where the kids will feel boring. You can't avoid that because, you know, sometimes teaching really needs attention. So yeah, just trying to make it as much as possible attractive. And remember as well to have a good rewarding method. When you arrive right at the beginning of the class, you gotta divide your class into teams, especially if you have very young children from the age of kindergartens, grade, well, yeah, great. Kindergarten's great. Yeah, big class, small class. Yeah, they wouldn't understand that. But well, I will recommend using your rewarding method a lot, especially in your primary school, and especially when you have a great number of kids. When you have lots of kids in your class, really use that method. Rewarding method. So divide your class into teams to keep them interesting in the class, to keep them and keep on asking questions to them as well, which will keep them paying attention on you. Of course, you're going to use your body language and all stuff. So it's very important that you always have a lesson plan. When you're gonna enter that classroom, you will know what's gonna happen pretty much. So, and even if what's happening is not what you were thinking would happen, so you just have to prepare another plan B. If this game doesn't work, you gotta use another game pretty much. So yeah. Thanks for your question, Juan. Thanks. So here we go. Here in the live question, someone asked before, how come up with the words to teach for ESL? Use a dictionary? Thank you, down Janiz. Yeah, that teach for ESL. Yeah. Someone just come up at the beginning of the live, the very first live, when things were not going well. I thought she was, I remember her name, Emma Jones, and I thought she was a spammer because she was like, what do I need to teach? A dictionary? Yeah. That's why, yeah, all what I've been explaining before, it means that you gotta have skills. It's not because you can speak English or native speakers. I don't mean to put native speakers against native. That's not my point. But some people do think that, yeah, it's easy to teach English. But mostly non-native can be better teachers because they have been learning a language already. Some natives, but very few, get the confrontation. I hate talking about native and non-native because we are all teachers and we always need native because we are not natives, and sometimes we do make mistakes, just like you did. Sometimes when I speak, you know that I'm not a native, but English is not because your mother language is English that you can teach it to everyone. It's just true for every language, I guess. So you gotta have patience and you gotta be loving kids so that you can. I've been training many native speakers, even if myself is a non-native. I'm a non-native speaker, and at the end of the training, they were all like, "Hey, Mike, I cannot get where you're from. I can't catch your accent. I I got no idea where you are from. I was like, yeah, guess. And they would never guess, and they would never guess. Kids back home. So, yeah, shouting a little bit. I had to say, yeah, be quiet, guys. Not always easy. Yeah, I don't have my private studio to do all that stuff. Down for that awesome reminding, and which is really important to remind. We are all equal when we teach English. And here we go. Yeah. What is the process for applying work permit in China? Whoa, man, I got to write long list. It's gonna come on Mikeshomeesl online courses. So yeah, just if you want to get trained by myself, if you want to, the very first course Mikeshomeesl is gonna be how. Oh, pretty much what the question Dai asked me, I'm answering it, and even very deeply. And I even have some companies in China who are working with the government to make sure that foreigners coming to China are well treated until their papers are, because you will have to how to say that, you will have to give quite a lot of papers for that, and till all those papers are good, recognized by the Chinese government. So yeah, you can come to China, and this company will make you sure that you start with a school that is verified as well by the government, so that you can be safe, because there are lots of scams, lots of agents in China that can scam you, and you arrive in a country without a job, and visa is about to terminate, and then yeah, I've seen many cases like that. It's really not cool. So that's why I also want to bring you all those first tips. If you're on the fence of becoming an ESL teacher, if you want to come to China, where I am, yeah, I hope that we can be colleagues. Why not? So thanks for that awesome questions. It's gonna come, brother. Don't worry. Great. Thanks for asking anyway. Good morning. Now I can. Okay, but question. No, another question. Hi, Lodi, brother. The administrator of Mikeshomeesl. He's really nice. He's helping me out because sometimes I have so many things to do. So he's part of the Mike's Home family. Thank you, Lodi. He knows everything about my home. You can ask him as well in the chat if you need whatever you need in in terms of videos that you want to find on Mike's Home for sure, but also any kind of questions you want to ask him. He will help you out for Mike's Home ESL group chat. That if you are on WeChat, you can add me. You can see it scrolling down there, and yeah. Thanks for all of you for being in the chat. I had a question in my mind: does putting kids on camera help get their attention a bit more? Sure. The video, I always call it the video effect, and especially some when I do this at my school, the teachers will be always saying one sentence that good, because Mike can send this video to your parents, so you better be good. And the kids are always doing great, and they always want to show off, showing that, yeah, I can do something. And that's helping in the class. Sometimes the class are even better they pay more attention because of this camera, and it helps me into my controlling that class. Believe it or not, that's what it is. Savvy fan, long time no see, brother. Welcome in the chat. Hi, Mike. Good evening, greetings from India. How do you online classes? We teachers are using WhatsApp software. What the hell of shit to chat and teach? Oh, chatting, yeah, teaching. Oh, teaching, yeah. WhatsApp? No, man. WhatsApp is a joke. Sorry to say this like directly, but yeah, I'm really true. Students keep responding, yes, sir, okay, sir, and reply anytime. Yeah, but I don't know what you're doing with WhatsApp, but if you can have conference call, that's all fine. But yeah, it's far away to be the best tool. Yeah, I don't know if they changed their way, but WhatsApp is for me really retarded. We back in China using WeChat, but not for online classes. For online classes, China is full of different platforms like what was that? Platforms like Classin, platforms like Ding Ding Talk, and also man, QQ. The leader QQ was quite pretty awesome stuff, really awesome platform. But yeah, don't worry, down. She's out. Thanks. Good to see you, Mike. It's Mia Jonas. I'm here to support. It's good to see you, brother. Thank you, Jonas. Welcome into the chat. ESL power for sure. Thanks. Angel Demon. Oh, that's a demon. Demon? Demon. A demon in the house. Angel and demon. That's an. Thank you so much for sharing your information. All right, you're very welcome. Are you an angel or a demon? And we have Bacon Lee. Welcome, Bacon Lee, on the chat as well. And asking if there's anyone from Changsha in here. Yeah, making friends on Mike's home is what I love. Hi, Mike. My pupils are good at reading, speaking, in grammar, but the problem that makes me unhappy is that they make many mistakes when they write. What's the solution? So the solution is I'm not here to in the class I give, I don't teach writing, and I don't know what level are your students, but um, what mistakes they make lots of mistakes when they write is because the problem is not coming from them, but probably coming from you. It's very typical for teachers to say, yeah, they're not good. They always make mistakes of this and that. No, it's just before you say that, you gotta pretty much change your way of teaching writing. And if there's a problem with writing, it's probably because there's a problem with what you say earlier. They can speak very well. What do you say? Yeah, reading, speaking. They're good at reading and speaking. So it might be a problem in reading in here. And make sure they match the right letter to the right sound. That is very important. If they know the sound of this letter, they are going to write the letter properly. So make sure, for example, in the class, you can tell them, make the sound, for example, I don't know, and then ask one of your students to go to the board and write the letter. Or you can make it even a game. You can divide your class into 4 teams. Like this, you can see very quickly all the classes. If the class is responding very well, you just say, for example, a letter. You say, no, not a letter, the sound of the letter. Listen to me. The sound of this letter. For example, if you say, if you want to say the sound of the letter D, so you say D. And then the kids run to the board, and they are supposed to write the letter that from the sound you made. And in this way, you will probably find where the problem is. It will solve your problem with reading, then speaking, of course, and grammar, I don't know. But I don't know how old are your kids. Whatever. That can be a good solution to check where the problem is. Another question, does the giveaway work on smartphones? It doesn't work on my phone. If the giveaway, I've never tried that. That's a great question about it. That, yeah, damn, thank you so much. Yeah, it's a flash game. So I guess if you have a flash application on your phone, should be working. Then after that, you gotta be able to share it on your phone. So yeah, I'm not sure if it's gonna work properly for sure. Great. Thank you very much for your question. Yeah, I was wondering if Miss Abuela was in the live chat, because I've been checking her YouTube channel, and yesterday we were talking about shapes, and especially to teach online. So you guys might be interesting in the way to teach online. And when I was watching Miss Abuela, is one of she pops up sometimes in the chat, and was quite pretty often, to tell you the truth. And yeah, sometimes she's starting online teaching. And the other day we were talking about shapes, and she's got something really interesting about teaching shapes. She started in a way that was really, really funny. We could watch it later if she's on. Big Ali, hi Mike, do you speak Mandarin? Yes, I can. 你好，欢迎，我可以说中文，可以，没问题。问题不大啊。能说中文，这在中国待了这么多年了，都快20年了，所以就说这个中文，也当然有一点口音啊，但是还行呗，还能行，还可以吧，差不多。I'm better in 山西话。Yeah, 山西话 is the province where I'm here, so 没问题，没嘛的，聊咋了？Thank you, Bacon Lee. Floriana, welcome back. Can you please share free talking in ESL failures or mean how to be effective, what to do? What do you mean free talk? Free talk would be a topic. So you got to bring a topic on the table, and you got to ask pretty much, you got to probably, before you start talking about this topic, make sure that the kids can express their opinion correctly. Probably the first class, you would have to prepare some articles, wherever they're from, newspapers or online, it's all good, about a topic. So let them check out those different articles, the pros and the cons about the topic. and then give them some new vocabularies, and then also how to express their opinion. Then after that, you can divide your class into two groups. You got it? One is going to be the pros of the topic and the cons, right? Oh my God, what are the kids saying? So yeah, the pros and the cons about this topic. And then you can ask them to think about it, get their arguments, ready for the next week, where everybody can have a free talk. So your first 2 hours can be probably about giving more vocabulary and how to express your opinion, and then they can have a free talk about it. And you are in the middle, telling them, correcting them, and sometimes just let them know, let them talk, even if they're making mistakes. Because if you have a shy class, many of them would speak probably for the first time. So let them interact, and just correct them. And then at the end of the day, all the of the class, not the day, they will be asking you, hey, teacher, what's your opinion? So get a conclusion ready about the pros and the cons, and make it fair, without giving really your own opinion, and let them understand that you are wise, and that both opinion can be, you can really support them, but in different, it all depends on your topic. Thanks for your question, Florian. I hope it will be helpful. I don't know how old are your kids, but when you talk about free talk, I was thinking about more elder kids. Wow, your pronounce is really standard. Good for you. Yeah, I don't know what is standard manner. There's not much standard English as well, huh? Yeah, thanks, Bacon Lee. I come today at special. Thank you. Thank you, Ed. Welcome into the live. Thank you very much. All right, so we started a bit late today. I know. Oh, my bad. I really wanted to give a shout out to Miss Abrella, but she's not in the chat. So yeah, we'll see that on the day. I guess I'll be back tomorrow. Sorry for all those technical problems. See you tomorrow, and you guys take care. And thanks for being in the live. Make sure you subscribe if first time in here, so that you will what's gonna happen on Mikeshomeesl very soon. And your suggestions are very welcome. Thank you to all of you for being in here, and see you in another live, probably tomorrow night. You guys take care. Love you. Thanks for the support. Bye.